Okay, so as my game updates, I want to go through all the updates we just had confirmed and also get a quick rundown of Tower before I try it out myself. This is honestly looking to be a very nice next week without any actual new units. I don't know if we're getting a new unit, but we're going to be checking that out in today's video. What we do know is these boys are getting SP buffs, right? They're getting SP buffs. So these three right here, which I mean, shocker, are getting SP buffs. This is very exciting. They're going to be on the 31st at 2 a.m. EST. These are ones I'm very excited for, and I have all three of them. So I'm honestly really happy. Now, there's a lot of other little things before we get into what exactly they do. Like, for example, there's going to be a paid selector with Yuta, Geto, and Miguel, which means I don't need Yuta. I haven't made one. I'm probably going to pick Geto. I'm going to pick Blue Inumaki because I still don't have Blue Inumaki. And I'm either going to pick Miguel or Green Megumi. You guys know Green Megumi, if you've been here a while, has been an arc. I don't have him, right? Still don't, after summoning on his rerun. So I think one of those three is what I'm going to do. Looking pretty interesting, I'm not going to lie. I think this is a really cool paid banner, right? For paid players, this is the one you want to summon on because you get to select three and you get one of them. So I'm going to get Geto. I'm going to get Inumaki. 2 W's because I need Geto dupe. And then we'll see. We'll see. Besides that, they're bringing a new free banner. So this is once a day you get to do a daily pull for free. And this includes Yuta, Miguel, Geto, and the memories, right? Look at all these memories, guys. So this is really good. And alongside that, we have the, is this the map event? I don't know. Hold on, let me check. Nope, let's check global. It is the, oh, I thought, yeah, no, never mind. So, it's the story event. Yeah, I guess it's the story event. Okay. So we're getting 2 story events. This is going to be insane for the boost. So, guys, just keep in mind, you might be able to get some of these units. They should be at 0.7% each, which makes this banner very high value. So now let's get into what exactly the SP buffs do. So, the SP buff, Yuta will get his S3 buff, the new auto skill critical hit enhancement. Geto will get his S3 and alt buff, and Miguel will get his S1 buff, the new auto skill critical hit enhancement. So, for the boy Yuta, right? I don't know how to feel about that. I think everyone wanted his alt buff. Now, why did they? Because of the fact he had this unable to fill own alt skill gauge for 4 turns, right? It kills him. This is killing a unit, right? Like, you don't understand. It's on Sukuna and it's fucking him up right now. Of course, his alt is very strong, but so is his skill 3. So this is something we have to keep in mind. His skill 3 in total is like almost 800%, right? It's the closest we have to anything near Blue Yuta and Blue Sukuna, right? So it's very good. So just because of that, I mean, giving a buff to it, what if it becomes like a debuff, right? I think what would be good is a damage increase debuff, since he also has a debuff here, right? He has a Jujutsu damage received, so I think that giving him maybe more damage and then also a damage increase debuff, and maybe like lowering the enemy's crit res, right? That would be really good for someone like the Gojo on the team too. So I think I could see that. Now for a crit hit enhancement. Well, we could go to Nanami. Let's go to Nanami and check this out real quick. I don't know of anyone else who has this, but I know Nanami does. So he had a critical hit enhancement. This was from the buff, right? So this was from the buff and then the SP buffed it. Basically, in the SP buff, when you Black Flash or crit, 80% chance, you get 20% crit rate and 30% Taijutsu and Jujutsu for 5 turns. So now, my guess is that when he Black Flashes or crits, he's going to get a bunch of stats, maybe extra CE. If he gets extra alt gauge, I think it's going to make up for this, right? Because it's also interesting, like, he doesn't have the most crit or Black Flash rate. So I think maybe giving him a permanent crit rate buff could be interesting. We'll see how it goes. I just still think his ult should have been buffed. But if they go crazy on this skill 3 and give him extra ult gauge, like maybe if outside of this state, if you're able to fill your ult gauge and you crit, get an extra, I don't know, like 200 ult gauge, something like that, I think would be how you go about this critical hit enhancement for Yuta. Now, Geto, I think, is getting the best buffs possible. He gets his skill 3 and ult buffed. That's what we wanted. So, what I want from the skill 3, now it's a damage boost, or a damage increase for 30%. So, what they should do, because debuffs for damage increase go up right now, like the lower end is Choso with 240. I think they should bring this now. It's only 90%. Bring it up to at least 150, but since it's a limited SP buff, bring it up to 200%. Fuck it. Okay, so do that, right? 200%. Like 150 to 200% is good. Take out this need max increase for the cursed energy. I think this shit is BS, right? We don't need to be taking all this CE, right? We don't. And then now, like, if it's a damage increase, we have our damage increase debuffer because we haven't had an actual one. 90% is not enough. But 150, more than that is. Maybe make this like 400% and then we're eating. For the ult, I actually think we all agree this is probably really good. Because he's only doing 760% Jujutsu. Bring this up to like 1400. Suddenly Geto's insane, right? With the Jujutsu and damage buff on this already, it's insane. Take off the reducing cursed energy. If you take this off, right, then suddenly this ult is really good. And I think maybe add a debuff, right? Maybe like add a debuff of like another damage increase, right? Maybe make it a 4-turn damage increase, right? And then this 3 turns, so you could stack it alongside it. And I really, really think Geto's might be the best in this batch because these are the things we needed buffed for him. We know the skill 3 was the problem because only 90%. If like this could have been really good, but we just need a bit more from Geto, right? We just needed a bit more. So like maybe make this 30% into 50% permanently without needing any cursed energy requirements, right? Minimum 50 to 70 per debuff for 3 turns, or they make it 4 turns, 4 turns for 40%. Maybe we'll see. And this ult, more damage, and also add another debuff, and then we're fine. And also remove this CE part. I just think it's horrible. That's my personal thoughts, because he's really good, right? He is really good. Also, this combo is insane for him. What is Yuta's? And Yuta's is a heal. Never mind. So yeah, for Geto's, that's great. And Miguel, I think, also is looking like he's going to have a very good SP buff. And you're going to be like, but why? Why? So he's getting his S1 and his auto skill, right? So from this, we know, like, for the most part, like this buff is kind of ass if we're being real. You're never really going to use it, but maybe like you have this damage reduction, right? And then you get up to 60%. That's kind of wild. So, you know, you could get over 100% damage reduction, but you have to use a lot of CE for that. This is a pretty good attack now because you could put this, but there's a cooldown. So you're kind of forced to using other attacks like this. Now, this makes it 240%, right? This is a 240% attack. So what we're looking for is now for it to be maybe 500. I want to see, I'm pretty sure Maki got an SP buff, right, on her S1. So it went from 180 to 200% with buffs. So I definitely think they're going to add buffs to this, maybe extra taijutsu buff. Or a debuff. They could also put a debuff. I think they need to make this around 300% because it's 240 right now. Bring it 300% and minimum 300. I think 400 is a sweet spot. It's a limited unit. So we need to make him way better with this, right? For the skill 1. Give him that like 400%. Maybe up his crit rate to 60% here. And he's going to get a critical hit rate enhancement, which for him is going to be good now because he actually gets 20% crit rate here for 6 turns. So I think that what we could probably start doing is maybe he gets either ult gauge or like big damages from this, right? And then afterwards, when he ults, he crits, hopefully, because he has an 80% crit rate hit. And this is going to be very good because then after, I think he could make good use of LMS, like-minded sisters, because of the fact that you want to probably ult and get his debuffs back up, right? So this would help him a lot for this, right? Specifically for this too. With that crit rate enhancement, I think Miguel might look very good now. Because since he could do damage, I think we're going to see him kind of shine if we're being real. If you think about it. Because now he's going to be able to kind of get through this very well, right, with damage. So I think the main problem was like consistent damage, because he doesn't do any damage on skill 2, and his skill 3 is 80% Jujutsu, which is wild. So it's like you ult and then you skill 1. That's the only damage. So it's good that they buffed the skill 1. I just it's interesting adding another passive, but you know, I guess they did just adjust the other 3 skills. So we're gonna have to see. I think Miguel now with this is looking a lot better, but I'm very excited, right? Very, very excited. So yeah, I'm hyped. Now we're gonna go over this very quickly, but the first floor is 112 million HP. The buff effects remain 60%, so it didn't get worse than 60%. And this is literally meant for Yuta. Now keep in mind, you can only use blue units. You literally can't use green, red, or whatever, which is insane. But yeah, Yuta now I think is clear number 1, because remember, his buff on ult works even when it's buffed. It does not get debuffed. It does not get nerfed, sorry. So that 70% Jujutsu that you get from the ult, the 100% damage and break, well, it's not getting nerfed. By the way, you only have 30 turns, so you literally cannot pass 30 turns, which is why this is so toxic. So this is a screenshot from Nameless, which that must have been pain. So yeah, I'm going to try this out when we're in game, but you know, it's going to take a little bit. So I'm going to talk about Tower more so in the next video when I try it out. For now, that's going to be it. Let me know what you think. I think honestly that getting SP buffs with the banner next week, a free pull, is really cool. It is really cool. So it's very possible we get a JJK0 Gojo next week, but for right now, I'm just going to stick with thinking it's SP buffs, and that's going to be it. So thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think of the choices for the skills. I think Geto's is perfect. Yuta and Miguel maybe could have been a bit better, but for now, that's going to be it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.